Welcome to Jesus in 3. Sometimes we make prayer very complicated, and there's so many steps in prayer. There's like prayer schools that teach you first you do this, and then you do this, and then you do that, and then eventually that'll be the way to approach God. But I submit to you it's a lot simpler like that. Look at the story in Matthew chapter 14, where Simon Peter is walking on the water. I'm just going to fast forward. He's already walking on the water. And then he becomes, caught up in the circumstances, and he sees the wind and the waves, and I suppose he heard it as well. So he begins to sink. And he cries out, "Lord, save me." And it says there, and immediately Jesus reached out and touched him. Now, here's what I want you to observe, that later on, Jesus was talking to them about why didn't you have faith? He was talking to them about their unbelief. He was reminding them, why didn't you trust me, and so on and so forth. But at that moment, at the moment of desperation, there was no teaching, there was no instruction, there was no rebuke. There was simply the hand of Jesus reaching out, lifting him. You see, Jesus shows us who God is, and God will never shut his ears to the needy. He will never stop listening and reaching to the person who is crying out for mercy. So I want to say, if you're in a tough situation right now, if you're facing difficulties, and you think, don't make prayer complicated. Don't make it seem unattainable. Don't think that you have to jump through hoops to be able to somehow get God to notice you. All it takes is a cry, "Jesus, save me." He's there. And then later on, you may learn some things. It's like when the lame man was lying on the bed at the pool of Bethesda. Well, Jesus didn't even tell him to go and sin no more right away. He could have told him, you got to stop sinning. But no, Jesus didn't say. He just healed him. He reached out. Here was a man, just for 38 years he had been waiting. And then later on, Jesus gave the instructions. So have great confidence in your prayer and know that God hears you, and you don't have to qualify yourself to be heard by God. And Jesus shows us it is so.